the last 8 episodes on the Just Create SMP, I successfully completed all of my projects over at Spawn, including finishing work on my floating island, the big old dock town underneath it, and of course the lake surrounding that. I've even pretty much finished the tunnels that my boat goes through in order to take me to my new base area. And because all of these things are finished, that means I can finally get properly started in this world, transforming my main base island into a production behemoth. Which of course means I'm going to be building a whole bunch of factories and farms in order to produce a whole bunch of things. And I might even open up some shops. So it's a good job I already have a power station over here, generating a decent amount of power. But what are we actually going to do with this island? I think it's time we came up with some ideas. The island is basically a square on a bit of a slant. See, I can draw on it and make it look even more square. Over here, we're going to be having a dock that our boat pulls into. And if we look at the actual landscape itself, it's not really all that ideal for building lots of things on, because it's a little bit of a mountain. But that's where my ideas come into play. As you can see, the mountain is in the center of the island, giving us a nice flat section all the way around the outside. So I'm thinking to make use of this mountain, inside it is going to be a ginormous storage system, basically a big old mountain of storage, pun definitely intended. And around the outside we'll have all of our production facilities sort of buried into the landscape but poking out, making their way up a sort of a spiral all the way to the top. And in order to transport things up and down this mountain, I'm thinking monorail. Although we don't have monorails at the moment, because in order to make monorails, we really need the Steam and Rails add-on for Create Mod, but it's not been updated for our version yet. But that doesn't mean we can't make temporary monorails using normal rails. For example, if I was to throw down a few girders here and then come along here and throw down a few more girders there, there's no reason we can't stick some track between those, like that. Then we can pop a station on there, chuck that down there for a minute, and then we could use our train casing in order to actually create trains. Now, they will effectively be riding on top of that track, but we can disguise these things with a whole bunch of blocks in order to make them just look like they're holding our monorail up, and then we can create the main part of our actual carriagey bit underneath. And no, it's not just going to be a rectangle of industrial iron blocks, but you kind of get the idea. We can have a monorail system running around our base, raised on platforms, and I'm sure we could probably do something to disguise this track a little bit better. I don't know what that would be, but I'm sure we can come up with something to make it look interesting. But anyway, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with all this monorail stuff. We actually need to figure out what we're doing with this mountain. And the reason that I want my storage system inside of the mountain is basically to have it in a nice central place for all of my farms and factories to access nice and easily, rather than having belts and chutes and trains and things going about all over my mountain, delivering things where they need to go. If all of the factories and farms can just access everything from one central location, then all my little monorail needs to do is go around collecting the finished items and taking them over to Spawn. So let's just imagine we've got our monorail just circling its way around the island all the way to the top. Then the monorail would get to around here. We would then send it over down there towards the Spawn area. And the reason we want the items there is because that's where we're going to have our shops selling it all. And it makes sense to start with storage, because even though I've got a big old storage system with a lot of big vaults in it, it's all getting a little bit full, meaning there's not room for a great deal more storage in here. And as well as that, this workshop is not only in the wrong place, but it's the wrong workshop. Basically, I've got big old plans to recycle it into something even more special. But in order to get to that and the storage, we really need iron, because basically I've just been stealing it all from Stam and I don't really have a massive amount of it left. So I feel like I want to get self-sufficient with iron, make a big storage system inside the mountain to have somewhere to put the storage system. Oh my god, there's so much to do. And before we even get into iron farms, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all of the trees on this island so I can see the landscape a bit better and determine what we're working with. And I'm also going to have to move my power station. I know I always have to move things, but that's because I needed it next to my workshop to power my workshop so that we could get moved here. But if we're going to be having our storage system directly under this mountain, it makes sense to sort of centralize the power with the storage system so it can route power to everything in a central location centered on the center of the mountain. That makes sense to me. Oh Jesus, there's so many. Oh geez, why do I do this every single time? Right, I'm gonna build a chainsaw. So a chainsaw then. I've decided I'm going to try and make my life a little bit easier by building an automatic train saw, which is going to use a furnace minecart. It's going to use a saw blade facing in that direction. It's going to have a bunch of barrels on it. 4 should be enough. It's going to have a copycat thing there with some casing on it for no particular reason. And on the back of this barrel here, it's going to have a filter set for saplings and sticks, and that's going to spit out all of those. Then I just need to glue this thing together. How hard could that be? Make it into a contraption, and off we go. Just need a bit of coal. And the way this should work, providing it works the way I expect it will, is I come down here and put that next to a tree, stick the minecart contraption there, put some coal in it. That's going to then hopefully dig through. Okay, we put the rail there, put that there, and then just give it a push. We set up several tracks in front of the tree. We put that on there, and then we give it redstone power and then give it a push. There we go, a chainsaw. And all of the things should be in these barrels. They are amazing. This is gonna take some time. Can I just like do it with a couple of them? Is it because that's too close? Yeah, okay, we definitely need to be 3 blocks back then. Well, that's a little bit annoying. But does it spit out all of the rubbish? It does. Excellent. And I don't think I need powered rail for this. I'm pretty sure I can just use normal rail. Ow. 3 of those. That there. Give it a shove. Yeah, it doesn't even need coal. 3 of those. That there, give it a shove. Oh, we'll have this area cleared in no time. Well, that was noisy, and it also took an incredibly long time, and it doesn't look like there's any difference from where I stood. And even though I spent 3 hours clearing all of the trees from around the sides of the island, and I thought I was nearly finished, I forgot just how many there were on top of the island. That's a whole lot of trees still to get rid of. I'd probably say almost as many as I've just got rid of. Maybe not quite, but don't worry peeps, I've got a plan for that. First things first, we need to take a rather large schematic of the entire island. And once we're happy that we've got absolutely everything we want inside of the schematic, all we then need to do is save it. Then we just need to hop into a flat world, load our schematic, which is not allowed. And just change the config a little bit. Load our island into this schematic, which is going to take an incredibly long time. I would imagine it's slightly quicker than deleting all of the trees manually. Let's just check. It has 0% so far. The question is it broken? Oh no, it is moving. Okay, forget that. It was taking far too long. Instead, we're just going to take a creative download of the world. Then we need a couple of coordinates. So we're going to start over here, and we're going to look at this block and go fill, and basically hit tab a few times to get those, and that's not going to work, but it doesn't matter. And then as long as we're far enough back that we've got everything covered, we can do set block right here. Let's have a bit of stone. And we can then use a tag to basically say replace all of the logs with air. And if we do that, it's not going to work. So we need to change a game rule. Command modification block limit, many. And now if we do our fill command, boom, all of the logs have gone. And that means the leaves should go as well. So what we need to do now is just set the random tick speed. Let's set it to 1,000. Get rid of all of those leaves. Fly around a bit to get rid of all of those leaves. And now we have an island with no trees on it in a test world, which is not very useful to me at the moment, but that's okay for now. And there we go. We now have a completely treeless island, which means I could potentially just take a schematic of that and then blast it into place with the schematic cannon using the magic of a special button. You see, the schematic cannon doesn't just have the ability to place blocks. By clicking on this and then replace solid with empty, I can actually get it to place air where there are existing blocks. So basically, if I just don't put any trees in it, all of the trees in my world would vanish. But that's not the only thing I want to do with this island, of course. I need to hollow it out in order to put a storage system inside, because currently it's absolutely full of stone and rocks and things. So while I'm faffing about in this creative copy of the world, I might as well do a little bit of hollowing. So let's just go and find a corner, let's say here-ish. And we're going to do the same thing again. Just half a fill command, come over to this side here. What we want to make sure we do is we don't delete anything we do want by mistake. So around about this point here should do. Fill in the rest of our fill command. We're just going to do air. And then if I hit enter on that, we should end up with a rather large hole inside of our mountain. I may have clipped the edges a bit. I am going to have to do all of this again. Oh, geez. But the idea is I do that, then I take a schematic of the island, then I put the entire thing back into the world, and it will erase all of the stuff in here as well. Now, of course, I'm not going to get any of the blocks back doing it that way, but I don't want the blocks back. I just want the big hole without putting in the effort to make it, and that seems like a reasonable way of doing it to me. Yes, it's a little bit cheaty. Yes, I probably shouldn't, but the alternative is to just use my tunnel bore and go through it a few times, which I absolutely could do, but then I'm just going to get rid of all of those items by burning them off somewhere. It's just a total waste of time. So I'm going to fix this world now, do it properly, and then take a schematic of it. And a little while later, I'm back in my flat world with the schematic, which is just about uploaded to my little bit of schematic paper. It has taken over 25 minutes already to get this far along in the progress, but it's nearly there. And yes, I'm going to have to do this all over again on the actual world in order to get the schematic on there, but I want to make sure it's actually going to do what I want it to do first. Come on, schematic, you can do it. This just goes this way, into here. Please. Read some YouTube comments while I wait. I follow you and Legion V, and he definitely gave you the smithing tablet. Yes, Jan. He did. Wasn't it Legion the one who gave you the smithing template? From Cruxy Whitey. Thank you very much for reminding me. Yes, I'm foolish. You said Throwlash, but wasn't it Legion who gave you the template, Foxy? Yes, no, Madex83, it was. I give up. Oh, it's done! I just had to click away. Hurrah, my island schematic is ready. This is going to be the laggiest thing in the world when I place this. So hold on to your boots. Oh my goodness, it's so laggy. Oh, it's come. It's here. I need to scooch it over that way a bit so it's not taking up. There we go. Keep going. Keep going. It all appears to be in place. There are no trees. Inside, there is a rather large hole ready for a rather large storage system, and many being decorated. And there are absolutely no damage marks to the end where I accidentally made the hole inside too big. So that's good news. The question is, when I upload this to the world and run it through the schematic cannon, is it going to work, or am I going to make a big mess of the Just Create server and then have to find somewhere else to live? There's only one way to find out, I guess. And so back on the real world, I'm now just waiting for the schematic to load into the schematic table again. And once that's done, I can get it printed onto the actual island. Begone trees and all of the stuff under the mountain. And there we go, the schematic is now ready, which means I just need to place it that way quite a lot. And I believe that is it there. So at the top up here, somewhere roughly in the middle of the mountain, I'm going to pop down the cannon. Just double check the schematic. Yep, everything's in the right place. Pop that in there, pop that in there. Set that to replace solid with empty, skip missing blocks, and I don't have to put anything in there for it to do its job. So here we go. Print emptiness. Oh, and of course it starts from the bottom up, doesn't it? So free cam. It is making empty space within the mountain. Now I've just got to wait quite a long time. course, here on the actual real world, none of that just happened because I deemed it too cheaty. I would like to know what you guys think in the comments, though. Do you think it would be too cheaty to get rid of all of these trees and dig a big hole in the mountain with a schematic cannon? Nevertheless, all of these trees are still here, and this mountain is still very much solid, which means I still got a whole bunch of work to do getting rid of it all. And I think the best thing to do for the top is just to run my tunnel bore backwards and forwards a few times, which will actually flatten out the area nicely for us. Then do the same thing on the inside, and then I can get rid of all of these trees around the outside with my chainsaw device. The only problem I've got before I do any of that is the fact that this tunnel bore is still absolutely full of basalt and flagstone, and I don't think it's going to fit inside my storage system. So I guess I'm going to need a big vault. Well, there we go. We are now 100% tree free, and the flat section is flat, ready to put a power station on. Now, obviously, the bit underneath the island has not been dug out yet, but this is still going a whole lot faster than the cheaty method that I've still got running on a different instance, and it's only reached layer 6 so far of digging out the mountain. Look. It's still going. It's doing that bit over there. It's still got all of this to go and all the trees. So while the cheaty method might be technically easier, this is a whole bunch faster, and that means it's now time to get my tunnel bore back out, get inside this mountain and dig out a big hole without tearing through the sides of it and making a big old mess of it, which could be quite tricky, but I'm pretty sure I can manage it. So let's go. Let's do this. So I've just finished a live stream over on twitch.tv/FoxyNoTail, and I say I finished, it actually got cut off short because my internet connection went. But as a result, we have actually tunneled out quite a lot of the underside of this mountain so far. I've still got a couple of layers to go, it's still working through a few bits, and I've got a whole bunch of tidying up to do, but we're getting there. And there we go. Other than a little bit of tidying up and a couple of holes to fill in, we now have a ginormous room underneath the mountain and a little escape hatch up there, but we do kind of need a way to get back to our storage area. But we don't need to worry about that right now, because right now we need to actually move the power station from its temporary location here on the side of the beach onto the top of the mountain, so it can provide power to all of the things around it as well as all of the things below it. Oh, and just a quick update to see how the other world is getting on digging out the mountain from the schematic cannon. It's still working its way through the 10th layer. It hasn't gone very far at all, and it's still got a whole way to go. And the schematic cannon is actually on maximum speed as well. So if I had chosen to do that method, I'd still be waiting for it to finish. Oh, jeez. Right, anyway, power station on the mountain. But before that, I have a plan. And that plan is to build a massive structure inside of the hole we've dug out, which I've pretty much already done. As you can see here, we have a massive 5 chunk by 5 chunk by 3 chunk high box. And this box sits quite nicely out in the area that we've dug out, taking up a whole bunch of space and taking a ridiculous amount of time to build. Not to mention the gargantuan amount of tuff that this thing took to actually build. It might not look it from here, but there are over 50,000 tuff blocks in this, and I run out several times, which involved a couple of trips to see Mr. Beardstone. Come on in.
Morning, fancy seeing you here.
Yes, it is fancy, isn't it? Rather fancy of seeing me here. Oh, I didn't bring any money. Can you lend me some diamonds? I can't believe I left my money at home.
I see. What were you after? I was actually over here just to...
I got 64. I need loads of tough.
Yeah, I was over here to rob my own shop, to be honest, to grab a bit of tough.
Oh, you need tough as well, do you?
Yeah.
Do you still have that tough shop in the train station that sells varieties of tough? Because there is one particular variety I need, and you would have got probably quite a lot of it from the trial chambers as well.
Yeah. You need lots of that sort of tough, do you?
Yeah, I don't need the bricks. I need the smooth, but the trial chamber smooth, vanilla smooth.
This is the
that
smooth,
one,
the polished one. The polished one. Yes, I've probably got loads of that back at my base if you want more.
Oh yeah, I would love that. Because then I'd have
there's a shulker's worth here basically.
Right, well, I'll take a shulker's worth here then. I'll pay for that. Gee, I don't think I can afford it. No, can't afford it. No, I've only got 20 diamonds left.
Well, give me what diamonds you've got.
Right, okay.
And then we'll just go rob my base.
Yeah. All right then.
Come on,
fill me up, Hank.
So it's almost 2 shulkers for 20 diamonds. You can't argue with that.
And after I'd successfully bought out all of Mr. Beardstone's first lot of stock and borrowed some from his base, I then had to go and see him again to get even more. Mr. Beardstone! Mr. Beardstone! Oh, Mr. Beardstone! Oh, there you are. I am in desperate need of tough. I have run out again. Oh. You have, I believe, I'm guessing, around about 65,000 of it in your base, but there's none at your shop. I have many diamonds to spend. I need it.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm going to get bulk discounts, considering I've literally already bought all of your shops out today.
I like this.
I mean, I could make my own Mr. Beardstone, but I'm choosing to support local businesses.
How much is it normally? Like a diamond for 2 stacks?
No, it's cheaper than that. Yes, I was getting a shulker for a diamond, I think.
Well, I was going to offer you a discount, but you're just being cheeky now.
Yeah. It's a diamond for 2 stacks. Yeah.
I will do a shulker for 10 diamonds. So you're getting like 7 stacks free in every shulker.
That sounds nice.
Sound good?
Yeah. I can't believe it. 9 shulker boxes for a diamond. That's very generous of you, Mr. Beardstone.
That'll be 90 diamonds, I think you'll find.
Huh?
90 diamonds.
I think
90.
Maths appears to be off, Mr. Beardstone. There you go, it's 90 diamonds, sir.
Are you filled up yet?
Filled up? I haven't done anything yet. I'm too busy getting your money out. I thought you were doing that. I do not get a delivery with this.
Yeah, it's all in there, look.
Oh my, it's got granite in it. And once they were done, I was able to finish off the floor, which basically finishes off the base of this structure. But what is this structure and why does it look so strange? Well, I have divided the area up into these chunk-sized squares. The idea here is that this area that I'm standing at the bottom is going to be filled with lava. That's going to be 3 blocks deep, which will give us over 16,000 lava inside of the floor. And these little holes in the side are all going to be linked to pumps and pipes which run all the way around, providing access to lava to the entire way around the mountain. And some of these little gullies down between the chunk lines are also going to be providing power. So we'll have our power station on the top, and that will be able to link down some of these, linking all of this to our power network as well. And the reason it's so tall is that each of the lines of chunks horizontally is going to be a different floor. So obviously we're going to have our ground floor down here just above the lava, then we'll have another floor there and another floor there, giving us a massive amount of space for a huge, gigantic workshop. But before I can do anything else, the first thing I need to do in here is actually get all of the lava in, and to make sure I don't fall into that lava, I'm just going to add a little walkway around the edge so I've got something to stand on. Now, believe it or not, the majority of this building was not made with schematics. I actually ended up doing just a whole bunch of manual digging, manually placing blocks, and using a couple of contraptions just to fill in some of the wall spaces. And why have I done 5x5 chunks? Well, there's a good reason for that. The full-size brass power loader, which is a chunk loader, can be set to chunk load a 5x5 chunk area. And that means that when I've got trains and monorails coming to this island to be able to pick things up and collect them, it will be able to chunk load this entire workshop and storage area here without a player needing to be nearby, allowing all of my items to be transported and keeping my shop stocked should I ever actually have any in the future, nice and easily. And now we have a big old floor in the middle of our room ready for lava to go underneath. And I've tried to make it an interesting looking pattern using some of the copper grates, a bit of glass so you'll be able to see the lava through it, and I've left these squares in the middle. because our power station's going to need water. So we're going to have some big old water tanks there. And around the sides of the building, we're going to have an awful lot of lava tanks and fluid tanks. Even though there'll be an unlimited source of lava down there, I thought it made sense just to have big old tanks in each of the corners, making this look interesting. Again, full of lava, making it easy for all of my factories and things on the outside of the mountain to access them. And then pipes running all the way up and down these things. So let's go and grab a whole bunch of fluid tanks, which I've just spent an absolutely ridiculous amount of copper on crafting, and get those all in place. I don't know if I've got enough, but we'll soon find out. I've got loads. I've got a ridiculous amount of pipe. I've also got loads of shafts and girders, and I've got some spare materials for crafting bits and bobs. So each of these 2x2 channels is going to hold 2 lots of pipes. So we'll basically have pumps there, bringing the lava out from our unlimited lava source. And then these are going to run along here like this, all the way down these gullies into the corners where we're going to have our big old tanks. And we're going to make all of these see-through. So we can see what's in them. They'll also add light in the area, or at least that's the plan. And then we can have 2 of them 2x2 like this, running alongside each other for no reason other than it being aesthetically pleasing. So that'll go that way, and then I guess that can go to the bottom of our tank there. Let's make these ones see through, and then hopefully there's going to be enough room for a big old tank here. And I do not believe there is a limit on how high these can be. The only limit is going to be how much copper I've got, and I think I might end up running out faster than I thought, because we've reached the top. This thing will hold a lot of lava, and I've only got that many fluid tanks left. Perhaps we don't need fluid tanks the entire way up the side. Oh, and there is a limit as well. I didn't realize there's a limit. Okay, well, in that case then we'll take them to the limit, and then above that we'll think about something else in the top of these corners here instead. It has just occurred to me after placing a bunch of these pumps in that this might not be a good way of doing it. You see, the pumps are actually going to take the source lava blocks away, which is going to then stop our infinite lava source actually having lava sources. Really, we need to be pulling it out with hose pulleys, which means we don't want these in here like this at all. So a few more hours have passed, and I've been focusing purely on aesthetics and fiddling about with pipes and girders rather than actually thinking about how I'm going to power all of this or put in any lava in. And I'm really enjoying myself in here making this crazy little contraption-y thing. So let me talk you through it. I've run pipes around the entire building from left to right, and in the corners we've got tanks with pipes in, and they're not 3x3 tanks, they're just 2x2 because they fill the space fine, and the extra pipes in the middle basically go where there are going to be floors. This level here lines up with this line here, so this will be the next floor up here. We'll have a little maintenance gap in the middle for pipes and conveyors and things to run in, and that means that none of these pipes will be seen because there's going to be floor there. The tanks on the corners are going to hold lava. However, there are other types of pipes in here as well, all leading towards the center at the moment, but all linked together underground. The fluid pipe without glass in it is going to hold water, and the ones with the glass are going to hold lava. And the reason I've done them with glass is so that they will actually emit light, meaning we won't need so many torches around here to keep the monsters away. That is going to cause a few problems where I've got sections like this where I've got both glass and not glass pipes running into this, but to fix that it will be as simple as just getting rid of those side ones there and those ones there, popping in a little bit of copper casing there to stop those connecting, and then we can link everything around there. But let's not get carried away with that right now, because that's probably all going to change, because it's all going to need pumps in and stuff in order to actually get the lava from there to there to there to there to there. And I haven't even thought about running any shafts or power lines or things like that. But this bit in the middle is the bit that I've been fiddling with last, because we're going to have our lava pool underneath here. We need to be able to suck that out in order to put it into the pipes and tanks. So in the middle here I've got 4 hose pulleys which are all going down to the bottom of that, surrounded by this sort of safety girder structure here. They're then going up into these glass pipes, running off into the side sections there, and they're just stopping at these copper grates at the moment because they're going to run in between this service gap floor, probably over to there, and then link up with those pipes there. At least that's what I'm thinking at the moment, which means we've then got these pipes which don't really go anywhere down here. And I really like the idea that we've just got pipes actually sat on the platform. But yeah, these wiggly systems here make sure that none of the pipes actually connect together incorrectly, and that means we could have water and lava running onto this floor here, either being sent that way into the pipes or sent this way to contraptions and things we've got. I believe my pipes and power are in. The power lines start in the ceiling because the power station is going to be up there, and they run to these chain drives on the wall over there. They then get distributed on each side down 2 sets of shafts to some more chain drives that go around each layer. They then run down more shafts to more chain drives that run around each layer, and then they go down to more shafts that run down more chain drives on each layer. My pipes that are coming into this system, instead of having pipes at the top here going out into this floor, I've decided to route them all down onto the floor down here so that they all come down to this double pipe work. These water tanks are going to be feeding into these pipes that are shielded, and the lava will be pumped into the pipes with the glass. They then come to this sort of distribution hub here, and then we've got a couple of pumps on each one of those being joined onto the power there. In the corners over here, I've managed to get the pumps working here, or at least I assume they work. I don't know. We've got no power or lava or water yet, but the idea is these are going to be the lava tanks. The lava's going to get pumped up into that one. That will fill up. Then there's another pump on top of that, which will fill that one. Then there's another pump on top of that, which will fill that one. And hopefully I've managed to get it so all of the chain drive and pump should spin in the same direction, which should mean we shouldn't end up with any breakages. Should be in the operative term there, because I haven't tested it, and no doubt when I do plug it in, it'll all break to pieces and all the lava will fall out. And speaking of the lava falling out, on each of these upright bits in the corner, I do have more pipes coming out for the lava to then be distributed along these bits here, but I haven't done that yet because I forgot. And you might be wondering, FoxyNoTail, why is there no time lapse of all of this? Well, the reason is because I have 14 hours of replay footage. Starting from here, we've got all of the holes in the walls. I did the ceiling parts, the floor cannon, my meetings with Beardy, some more floor cannon in, some more Beardy, and some more floor cannon in, and stealing more of Stan's iron. And not only can I not really be bothered to edit 14 hours of replay videos because I don't have time to do that in order to get this video out, the other problem with it is the replay footage is all over the place, with me sort of running backwards and forwards to craft more materials, going back to my workshop to make more materials, going to the shopping area to buy more materials, and basically I wasn't really in one place for long enough to actually have a camera on it and make a nice looking replay. So there you go. No replays, just building, and I've been having a wonderful time. So let's get these last few pipes in, then we can actually pump all of the lava into here, get the power station moved, and hopefully get this working. Need more pipes made, so we're going to need more pipes. I don't think I've got enough, but we'll find out. Some copper casing probably, and a few more metal brackets. Let's see how we get on with this. We need to go around these here, and I think I'm going to choose to go around the outside. And if we throw a little bit of casing on there, we can have a couple of brackets on there, but this is probably all going to be invisible when we've got the floor levels in. Well, it's going to be here, isn't it? So you're not going to see any of this anyway, but for the sake of looking nice for now, I think we should do it. Then we need to get over to here. Obviously, we don't want to join with this pipe, so we'll put some copper casing on there. We do want to join with this pipe, so let's just make that a normal pipe. Then we can link over to that like that, bring that round there, and then we can continue over in this direction. Let's put some more copper casing on there and make that linkable so we can join that into that, come around this one here, and then we can run that all the way into the other corner, but there's not actually anywhere to link to because my shaft's in the way over here. I suppose we could kind of come out like that. That could work. Go round these shafts again. And there we go. We now have one line of copper pipe going all the way around the room that way, which I then need to do 3 more times for that section and 3 more times for that section. I don't need to do that because that's going to be the ceiling, and the bottom ones have already got it in. And that means I'm going to need a lot more pipe. So let's craft as much as we can. Well, I don't need that. Well, maybe I do need that many. I don't know. I'm going to craft 512 just like this. There we go. Lots of pipe. And lots of monsters. Now I've taken away those torches, so we really need to get that lava in here quickly. And I've just got to the very end, and I'm 1 piece of pipe short. Literally run out of pipe here. Oh, well, we can go and colour all of these ones in and get the brackets on, and then go and fetch another one, and... oh, jeez. And there we go. My last pipe is in. The whole thing is all now collected. We shouldn't have any pipes just sticking out, not going anywhere, which means it's time to run even more pipe all the way from our power station lava source to get the lava filled in here. So I think it makes sense to basically take some of our pipe out and just run it through this wall, because hopefully on the other side of this wall, not too far away across the mountain, is our power station. And just looking on my mini map, it looks like I have reached the lava source. It should just, yep, it just should be through this wall. And here we go. Our lava factory. Okay, I have my lava pipe all the way from the new workshop area over to here. I'm going to put a pump in here, I guess. Link that up to this and then make that full speed. But I can't do that because I haven't connected the other end yet. So let's just go back. Just bring this along the wall a bit. Bring this all the way over this way. And hopefully I can just link that into this lava pipe here. And that should then force it up that pipe, down through all of those pipes, into our hose pulleys, and each one of those will hopefully start filling up that lava source. Let's go get it linked up at the other end. Ow. Stick on a gearbox, stick on a shaft, and then stick on a couple of cogs, and then fingers crossed, I guess. But is it making it over to our... Oh, it is. It's in the pipes. Does that mean it's going through the hose pulleys? It does. All 4 hose pulleys are pumping lava into our underground area. Oh, this is wonderful. I've just got to wait for a very long time for all of that to fill up. Well, we're nearly there. We now have nearly 2 layers completely full, and I think that's probably actually enough already to consider this an infinite lava source. If we just pop down into FreeCam and check this out, you can see we're just working on the second layer's corners. Slowly but surely, it is all filling in. But of course, this is only going to solve our lava problem for our power station. We're also going to need water as well, and it's all right just filling these tanks with water, but eventually that's going to run out. So we need these tanks to fill themselves from an infinite lava source. And I'm thinking the simplest way to do that would be on top of here, just have a pool of water with some pumps going straight into these to fill them in. That seems nice and simple. The only problem we've got with that is there is no power to the center of this at this moment in time. So I'm going to get the pumps and pipes in first and then try and figure that out, I guess. So what I've done so far is I've made these tanks slightly taller, added in some chain drive around the top here with some pumps and pipe coming around to this big square up here, and I've got an infinite lava source there which is actually going to be the same size as this completely. But I need to block it in because I need to do a little bit of work without everything getting wet. And the first thing I'm going to do is put shafts through these girders here, through those ones there, and then put cogs in the middle there. And those come straight through to these chain drives. On top of those cogs, I can then put pumps going into those pipes there. I can then add in some more pipes just here like this, but I don't want those joined together. I actually want them encased like this. And then when we bring this around here like that and get rid of these bits in the middle, they'll be able to pull the water from there. These cogs are going to spin in different directions, but the chain drive's spinning in the same direction, which means they're going to break. So I can actually only have one cog on here. So we're just going to have a cog and a shaft to make it look more interesting. And we're going to do that all the way through on each side, just like this. Now we just need to make our infinite water source spread all the way across, just like that. Now we now have an infinite pool of water with 8 pumps coming out, which will then fill up each of these water tanks. We just need to get power to these chain drives, and ideally we need to find a way to link those chain drives together, and I think we can just do that in the corners like this nice and easily, and that sort of ties it all together there. And just because that looks a little bit lacking in structure, I think we should add some more girders. We don't want anything to look like it's floating and not 100% completely supported. Now we can bring these girders over to the edges here, just to make this look a little bit more interesting. And now we have an absolutely crazy abomination of a contraption-y machine right in the center of our workshop-y area, which is totally overkill for everything we need. But I love it. Right, how's our lava getting on? Where are we at? It looks like, oh yes, we're now filling in the 3rd layer, so we definitely have got enough for an infinite lava source already. So in order to get power to these pumps, then the closest power we have is actually down there on that level. We could run it all the way around and bring it up the center of the structure alongside our lava pipes, but I think it might end up getting a little bit messy down there. I think it would be more interesting to actually just bring it across from these chain drives over here through the center of our platform here, right into those that we just happen to have available there. And again, I'm going to use 2. I don't need to use 2. I just want everything to look really interesting and symmetrical and fun. Why symmetrical fun? It's better for my brain, okay? It's just better for my brain. It's not symmetrical. It hurts. And I'm not going to do that on all 4 sides because I think that would be ridiculous. I'm just going to do it on 2 sides, and I'm hoping that we won't get opposing rotations. I suppose we'll find out when we turn everything on. Now, these bits in the middle look a little bit floaty, so we should probably put some more girders above those. And then we can hop down underneath those and just pop a couple of brackets on at each end just to make that look a little bit better. In fact, I am going to go right to the ends there. Yeah, that definitely looks more substantial. And of course, we need to do that on the other side as well. Lovely. Right, now I just need to connect these all the way over to here. I'm not going to bother putting any sort of structure on these shafts right now because don't forget, these are going to be in between the floors. That circle in the middle is not just staying a circle in the middle. We will be connected all the way to the edge over here. There might be some glass in it and stuff like that so you can see the workings inside, but for now, I'm not going to do anything with it because I've run out of shafts. More shafts, please. And there we go. That is our entire structure complete for that. So all we need to do now is wait for that lava dust to finish filling in on the 3rd layer. Then we can get the power station moved over here and get it up and running. Why don't you build the power station down here? I know. I wish I kind of hadn't built that power station already because it would be awesome to have this in here. But I guess we could build additional power station-y stuff in here if we ever need it. For now, we're going to keep the nice one that I built. We're just going to move it. Good news! The lava has finished pumping in underneath the floor, which means every single layer is 100% complete. And that means it's time to move our power station, which is going to involve a reasonable amount of demolition. I've already put together the schematic for the power station. We don't need the big old lava pool underneath, so we've just got the bottom floor, and that's going to sit perfectly over the hole we've got, which sits perfectly over our structure below. So I think the easiest thing to do would be to just use my big old tunnel bore to demolish the existing power station and get all of the blocks from that. But before I start tearing it down with my tunnel bar, there are a few things on here that are not going to tear down ever so well. Things that break when you smash them without silk touch, like the windows. So I should probably go and take those all out manually. It's just occurred to me I don't need to schematic any of this. I could just pick the whole thing up as a contraption, and that's going to save me a lot of headache because I think half of the stuff will go missing if I schematic cannon it. So let's put those back in there and go and get some glue. And there we go. The whole thing is now glued. I'm not 100% sure it's going to manage to get everything on the inside. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few things that fall off or just don't attach. But there's only one way to find out, I guess. And that means breaking that. We'll put a bit of rail there. We'll put one of those in there, unlock rotation, stick a minecart in there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, absolutely nothing happened at all. Is that because it's a hopper minecart? Stupid hopper minecarts. I don't have any normal ones. Try again. Water is going everywhere, but how much of it did we actually get? Oh, it's too big. It's not too big. And I believe this is a bug because Chosen had exactly the same issue earlier trying to pick up his tunnel bore, and I don't know how to fix it. I need Mr. Beardstone. Here he comes, Mr. Beardstone to the rescue. Miss Beardstone.
Exactly. Hello. What's up?
My power station is leaking.
So it is, yes.
How do you fix the I can't pick it up problem?
How do you fix the I can't pick it up problem?
Yeah, try and pick the contraption up.
Oh, yeah, we didn't fix it.
Oh. I need to move it.
Yeah, we don't actually know what the problem is.
Right.
At the moment. So, yeah, I believe it's been reported. But
well, that's no good because now I've got no power. My water's leaking and all of my lava has turned to obsidian, Miss Beardstone.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem, Foxy. This is the Foxy I remember.
Yeah.
I wondered where this Foxy had been the last few weeks.
Well, the thing is, I don't need that lava anymore because I have new lava.
Okay, that's just as well, really. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have new power, hence needing to move this. Can I wheel it about on its contraption? I can.
Yes.
Can you pick it up now? I've moved it off the track.
No, it says it seems too big to pick up, which is a complete lie. But sometimes Chosen said he can't even pick up his little delivery van, and then he has to like turn it into a contraption and back to normal again, and then he can pick it up.
Well, let's try that then. Now
yeah, there you go. So it's solid again.
This is a building. Water is no longer leaking, Mr. Beardstone. This is a good sign.
No, but your lava is still obsidian.
No, too big.
Still too big.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well,
Well, you're gonna have to do things the old-fashioned way and stick it about on your rails, I guess, which isn't ideal.
it's
but
not
yeah,
ideal,
it's
Mr.
clearly-
Beerstone, because I
it's
got a
it's
long way
clearly
to
a bug.
take this. So first things first then, let's turn this minecart into a furnace minecart whilst getting hit by a skeleton. Where'd you go? Stop it. Then let's lay an absolutely ridiculous amount of rail all the way up my hill, ideally in as straight a line as possible to make life nice and easy, and then we'll do all sorts of wiggly roundy bits at the top to get it to go where it needs to go. Now that the track's in place, what I can do here is actually break that block, replace it with a barrel so that I can put some coal inside of it, pop the furnace minecart down, make sure this is on lock rotation because we don't want it screwing around all over the place, turn it into a contraption and hope for the best as it goes winging its way up the hill. Have you ever seen a moving power station? I certainly haven't. This is a first for me, but it is making its way up there. It is going. Can we ride on it while it's going? We can go for a ride on the power station as it squirrels its way up the hill. This looks absolutely ridiculous, but will it go into the right place when it gets there? It's getting there. It's getting there. Oh, it's not going to turn, is it? Because it's on locked rotation and I need it to face the other way. Right, so we've got a bit of jiffling about to do with it once it gets here, but how much stuff did I leave behind is more of my question. Some cobblestone up there, a couple of bits down here, but nothing major. I think we got pretty much everything. We're going to have to do all sorts of jiggery pokery to get this to be where I want it, with rail. So not lock rotation. Let's pick up some of this track and try and figure out how we're going to do this. That's going to spin this corner round. So we want that actually over here. And it is a contraption, so let's just give it a nudge. Off it goes. It didn't turn round. Oh my goodness, what is happening? My power station. Oh no, it did. It turned round. Not quite the way I wanted it to. With the door. That didn't get. What? I thought it would be fixed to it. What if we reverse it a bit? It is turning the wrong... Oh my goodness, no, it's kind of doing what I want it to do. No, it didn't quite turn far enough. That's it. There you go. And no, you spun the other way again. What are you doing? Where are you going now? You lunatic. I just want you to spin round. I need to pick it up. It's so annoying. Right, go round in circles until you're facing the right way round, and then I can stop you. Oh, it's... No. Is that the door on this side? It is. The door is the right way round. Stop, minecart. Don't spin any further. That's it. The door is on the right side. Let's pop that back in there. Lock rotation this time. Please don't spin round the other way. No, don't do that. No! Why? What are you doing? You stupid thing. Furnace minecart, I am going to lose my temper with you in a minute if you carry on. Just go. Think about what you've done. Look, it's nighttime. I've been here that long trying to spin around a power station. Maybe it needs to do bigger circles. No, you're totally the wrong way around again. Yeah, that's it. Keep going that way. Now. No, come back. No, you. Yes. Then I'm going to stick that there on lock rotation. Ow. Worked out perfectly. Are you telling me it spun back round the other way again? I'm going to do murders. I am actually going to do murders. What's even the point in me doing all of this train track stuff if you're just going to be that way round? No, you... I was so far away from you. Fall down there. Well, this has been a mission. I have spent a long time trying to get this power station working, and it does. However, it wasn't exactly easy. As you can see in here, I've had to clear out quite a lot of the gubbins, replace them with some more lava tanks and water tanks, basically as a backup in case the system downstairs decides it's not going to play, and that will enable the power station to keep running in the meantime. The steam boilers themselves haven't changed a great deal. We've still got the same mechanism to feed lava into them. However, how I'm getting the power out has changed, although it is coming out of two sides. I haven't even connected these ones yet. They link feeding together underneath here into this speed controller, and as you can see, we've only got half the power we should have, and that's then running downstairs through this chain drive into these shafts, which is then distributed around the entire room, meaning that everything is working. My pumps over here are working, my pumps down here are working, and yes, all that's changed as well. Because there was such a complex network of pipes and things, it got very confused and caused incredible amounts of lag trying to figure out where to send lava and water, because there are opposing streams, lots of pipes all connected in different ways, and it was just a big mess. So what I've done is I've taken 4 lines from the middle that are pumping outwards towards the edges, and each one runs along to each edge where there is a tank. There is a tank for water and one for lava. And that means that each side of this building is completely separate from the other sides. And you might say, well, you've got pipes going across the top as well. Yes, we have, but again, each one runs into a couple of tanks just so it's got somewhere to terminate. So in the corners, each of the water pipes and lava pipes runs into its own little fluid tank, and then the lava tanks are connected together through these pumps, filling up the corner tanks all the way to the top. And of course, we've got the buffer water tanks in the middle as well, which are more just for looking nice than actually doing anything. The problem, however, is that mobs are still spawning, and that's because pipes don't do what I thought they did. Changing my brightness back to default, you'll see that while the lava pipes do glow, they don't actually emit any light, which means we're only actually getting any light from where there's a tank, because tanks do emit light. And that means we've got these big old dark sections everywhere where mobs are spawning on the ledges, falling down, and then causing me a few headaches. But that's something we can deal with later on. And so's the power station, because I've decided that in the next video, I'm going to be making some significant changes, because to me, it doesn't make sense to have all of this water and lava down here and the power station steam turbines up there. So up here is going to be the elevator and the entrance to our underground area, and all of the power stuff is going to go downstairs.